Ladies and gentlemen, today we are running a very beautiful topic called Top Stock Market Myths. Just to introduce myself, I am Dr. Bharat Chandra, medical doctor, behavioral therapist, and trainer of international repute. In the last 38 years, I have trained more than 2.5 lakh people and have addressed more than 1 crore people from the stage. I have appeared in more than 400 TV and radio programs on topics such as personal development, stock markets, personal finance, management, etc. I have conducted programs in 12 different countries and also in 14 different locations within India. And then maybe I have until today, I not taken account in the last 38 years, I must have conducted more than 1,000 workshops all over the world. Now let me come to the topic. Top stock market myths. Most of the following myths, misconceptions are mainly due to our own thinking and what we have been told by others. They have arisen in our mind because we have decided to blindly listen to others rather than experience things for ourselves. Many of you may be suffering from all these misconceptions, and some of you from some of the misconceptions. But surely, stock markets in India is a topic which has lot of misconceptions. Large number of people whom I meet are suffering from the problem of some misconception or some wrong information about stock market. The first misconception people have is stock market is gambling. What is gambling? Gambling is the betting of money or something of value on an event with an uncertain outcome with a primary intent of winning money or material goods. Example, you must have seen that roulette wheel. Where you put a small dice, and if it goes to number 7, you get $100. If it goes to number 36, you get $400, like that. But stock market is not gambling. It is a perfectly thought out plan. When you invest in stock markets hoping for luck to help you to make profits, it is gambling. If you hope to be selected in a job interview by luck without having a good profile, adequate skills, and experience, then this is also called gambling. Do you think you'll be selected for a job without the required qualification or experience? If you feel you will be selected without the requirement of the qualification, type yes. If you say no, we require qualification, you type no. Perfectly said. All of them are saying no because when you are going for a job, they look at the qualification. Otherwise, there is no job coming up. And that also means that my audio and visual, audio and video is perfectly all right. If somebody is not getting the audio or video, kindly make sure that you check your audio connection, your Wi-Fi connection from your side. Plus, when this program is going on, by any chance there is a problem from our end, the Wi-Fi gets cut off, kindly sit patiently for the next 1 minute so that we can reconnect. Similarly, when investing in stock markets, unless you do adequate research, understand the concept, analyze, etc., you will not be successful consistently and over a long period of time. Whenever I meet people, quite number of them come and tell me, sir, I lost 1 lakh rupees in the stock market. I lost 2 lakhs. Somebody says, I lost 50,000 rupees. Somebody says, my father lost 1.25 lakh rupees, etc., etc. Then I ask them, where did you invest? He says, I invested in stocks. I ask him, how did you invest? He says, I asked the stockbroker where to invest, and he told me these are the things to invest. Or sometimes they tell me, stockbroker told me, you give me the money, I will invest. And the stock market invested. At the end of 3 months, there was no money available in the account. And then the stockbroker said, loss ho gaya. Many of them are asking the stockbroker. For example, many of them have invested in a stock called Suzlon, which is approximately less than 10 rupees now. Less than 10 rupees now. And it was somewhere around 450 few years back. It has gone down every day. So make sure that you invest in a good stock, not in some inferior stocks. Truth about stock market is gambling is, as long as you understand the principles of investing and take logical decisions, investing is extremely rewarding and the role of luck is very small in success. I hope I am audible and visible, because now and then we're getting some comment which says I am not able to listen, I am not able to see, etc. Type, if everything is clear, type clear. That's enough. Yes, it says yes, clear. So somebody who has not got the video or audio, kindly check the Wi-Fi at your end. The second myth in the stock market is stock market is very risky. How many of you agree stock market is risky? If you say it is risky, type yes. If you say it is not risky, type no. So everybody is saying stock market is risky. Some people are saying no. Probably they've invested and made some money. Yes, in fact, stock market is sufficiently risky if you don't know anything about where you're investing. Risk, Warren Buffett says, risk comes from not knowing what you are doing. It's perfectly said. And then going further, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know how to swim, but jump into 8 feet of water, it is definitely risky. If you don't know how to drive, but try to start a vehicle and drive on the road, you are taking a very high risk. And then going further, similarly, majority of the people invest their hard-earned money in stock market without knowing even the basics. No wonder that when they lose money, they find it risky and blame the stock market for their loss. Very interesting. They lose money and blame the stock market. Please understand, there are many stocks. Somewhere around 20 years back, it was hardly 7 or 8 rupees. Today, it is quoting somewhere around 2,000, 2,500, 1,900, etc., etc. To give an example of Infosys, Infosys was started with somewhere around 95 rupees in the year 1993. If somebody had invested 9,500 in Infosys in 1993, today it is approximately in the range of 6.5 crores or so. Ladies and gentlemen, if you knew you should have invested in such stocks, I'm talking about Wipro. If you had invested somewhere around 10,000 rupees in Wipro in the year 1980, I'm talking about 1980. Even in 1980, 10,000 rupees was a big money. If you had invested 10,000 rupees then, by now, the Wipro is in the range of 500 to 550 crores, depending on a particular day and a rate in the stock market. So stock market is risky for somebody who does not know. Another reason why we feel it is risky is because our parents, relatives said so due to their bad experience or other people's bad experience in the market. We all research a lot before buying a new mobile, car, or even planning for a vacation. If you want to buy a piece of plot in Bangalore, what do? You research the area, you go to the vicinity and find out what is the market rate. Then you take the title deed of the plot you want to buy and go to an advocate and ask him to do the legal analysis. And then You also research the person who is selling the plot is reliable, is he trustworthy, and all this research you do. Finally, you buy a plot, or if you're not sure, you buy a plot from BDA because that is the trustworthy source. If you buy from Dum Dum developers, TomTom, logistics and real estate, you are going to go into huge loss. So very important, you do your research. Why don't we spend some time to learn and research before investing our money in any company? Just like that, just because you know some company, you cannot invest. In stock markets, if you classify the stocks, there are some stocks called index stocks and non-index stocks. Index stocks are approximately 50. It is called Nifty 50 stocks. If you invest profitable shares in Nifty 50 index, you are likely to make profits. If you select a stock which is consistently making losses, you will also go for a loss without any doubt. And the truth is, it is only risky when you don't know enough about it and blindly invest. The third myth of stock market is stock market requires huge investment. Most people have been made to believe or assume that we need large capital to invest in stock markets. Unfortunately, this is far from truth. If I go further, you'll be surprised. In fact, it's one of the easiest places to start investing since they can invest as low as rupees 100 or 200 or 500. There are many mutual funds which will accept 500 rupees monthly, as low as 500 rupees a month on an SIP basis. Whereas our investment requires some minimum capital like real estate, insurance. In fact, one of the easiest places to start investing, since you can invest as low as 100, 200, 500, whereas other investment requires some minimum capital, real estate, insurance, etc. I said mutual funds accept as low as 500 rupee per month in SIP basis. If you invest in a stock market, if you want to buy one stock of Titan, it may cost you less than 1,000. And if you want to probably buy a stock of SDFC, it may be in a range of 900,000 rupees. And ladies and gentlemen, it is there are some stocks which are having one share is only 100 rupees. So it's very easy to invest small amounts. Whereas in real estate, the minimum I can see is 10 lakhs for a plot, and insurance, you cannot invest less than 10,000 rupees probably as a premium on an annual basis. So in fact, stock market is the easier place to invest. The fourth myth is stock market requires a lot of time to monitor. Most people assume that they need to sit in front of the TV, computer throughout the day to invest in stock markets. This is another misconception spread mainly because of the following. Large number of people look at that TCNBC and moneycontrol.com, etc., and they see large number of people sitting 24 hours in front of it. They think that it requires commitment of 24 hours or probably from 9 o'clock to 3:30 to make money. Wrong. Stock market requires a lot of time to monitor. That's what the people feel. And let me go further. Truth is, if you plan to invest for long term, 8 years or plus, when I say long term investment in our workshops, we recommend people to invest not less than 8 years, and the maximum could be 35 to 40 years, depending on your age. If you plan to invest for long term, 8 years plus, then you need to spend around 30 to 60 minutes a month. How many people here think that they can spend around 30 to 60 minutes a month with the stock market? Please type yes. Yes, most of you are typing yes. I'm getting the message. Listen, I got a beautiful explanation for this. If you're willing to sit for 30 to 60 minutes a month, able to spend 30 to 60 minutes a month with the stock market, and you're able to invest as low as 5,000 to 10,000 rupees a month. You can retire with not less than a crore, not less than a crore. So that's a beautiful suggestion I'm giving you. And the truth is, if you plan to invest for short term, 15 days to few months, then you need around 20 minutes a day every night. Somebody asked me a question, how many years? 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, depending on age. Ravi Dhanwate, what is your age now? What is your age now? For example, Ravi asked me a question, 30 years. No, Ravi is saying, what, I'm waiting for the answer from Ravi. 40, Ravi then says 40 years. So then long term for you, in my opinion, is minimum 15 to 20 years. Nakul, 32 years mean my suggestion, invest for another 25 to 28 years. And then I got another statement to make. How many of you would like to earn somewhere around 5, 10, 15, 20,000 rupees in a month from stock market? Type yes. Yes. Most of the answers are yes, yes, yes. In that case, you need to spend approximately 20 minutes a day every night, not in the daytime, in the night time, because the techniques we use in stock market is nothing but closing rate technique or closing rate determination technique. So very, very important. You need to spend 15 to 20 minutes a day in the night. Now, fifth misconception about stock market is very difficult to learn and understand. And somebody is asking a question, how much capital is required? For long term, we require 5 to 10,000 rupees a month, depending on your age. For short term, I recommend approximately 1 lakh at one time investment. 1 lakh. Probably you keep on circulating, recycling the same 1 lakh in a year 4, 5, 6 times. We have been made to believe by others that stock market investing is very difficult and everybody cannot understand it. Somebody says stock market is difficult to understand. Now, if you got any questions, kindly ask questions only after 8 p.m. when we say question and answer session is now open. So very important. I understand it looks very difficult, but if you understand what is stocks, what is mutual fund, what is bonus, what is dividend, and why the stock goes up and down, and then what are the risk and reward in stock market, what are the benefits of owning a stock, and what is demat. These are all the topics which will be covered in a broad spectrum stock market basics workshop. And we've been made to believe others the stock market investing is very difficult. Everybody cannot understand it. On the other hand, truth is just like any other subject. It looks difficult until you understand it. Once you learn, understand, then it looks simple and you wonder why you did not make the effort to learn earlier. Whoever attends our workshop will come to the conclusion, sir, I should have taken this workshop at least 10 to 15 to 20 years earlier. There are quite a number of people who have attended our introductory seminars somewhere around 10 years back, coming and joining now. I'll give another example. I was conducting a workshop and somebody came and told me, sir, I attended a workshop in Shimoga 10 years back. Now I wanted to listen to you, again join now. And somebody else got up and said, sir, I attended a workshop 10 years back. Today I'm owning a wealth of somewhere around 30 lakhs for having invested approximately 7,000 rupees a month for the last 10 years. So very important. It is easy to understand provided you are going to take some effort. Ladies and gentlemen, now I'm going to welcome Mr. Rohan Bharatchandra, my son, who will continue with the session. Please welcome him.
Hello, everybody, and welcome once again from my side as well to this webinar. Let me give a very brief introduction of me before I start so you know who I am. I am an MS Banking and Finance from Australia. I passed all the exams of the NSE Investment Advisor course. I've been a personal finance coach since the last 10 years. I've trained around more than 20,000 people so far, more so in the physical workshops, nowadays more on the online platforms. And the sixth major stock market myth is we can make money in stock market by just following business TV channels. During the last 8 to 10 years, there have been many business channels which have been launched and provide 24 into 7 business news. And most people think by me watching these channels, I get all the information and I become an expert in investing. They invite guests and experts to come and advise viewers on what shares to buy and sell. Unfortunately, most of the times they are just recommending some investments and investors blindly follow them without doing their own research and thinking. I want to make one thing very understandable to you in a logical way. Most of the times whenever these so-called experts come on news channels, if you check next time, if you already watch news channels, check it up next time. They will say Mr. So and so, and they will say research analyst in some particular brokerage company, or they will say some manager of so and so in some brokerage company, some stockbroker company like Motilal Oswal or Sher Khan or ICICI, etc. And these are actually brokers. That means their job as a person in the market is for their customers to buy and sell shares, and only if the customers buy and sell shares, they earn a commission and they make a profit. So they come online most of the times so that their clients get an impression that so and so person has come and he's recommending something, so he must be knowing a lot of things, and so I will buy and sell every day. He may know a lot of things, there may not be doubts in that, but he may not be telling you things which absolutely benefit you. He may be talking in his angle where you need to be doing frequent trading, otherwise he does not earn a commission. It's like you blindly crossing the road since somebody has suggested you without actually seeing left or right before walking across the road. There is a very famous term, and I'm sure you've heard of this. It's called personal finance. Why is it called personal finance and not just finance? Because it is something personal to me, and that is my finance. Nobody can be a better judge of your risk-taking capabilities, your kind of investment horizon, your expectations. Apart from you, there will be nobody else who can do a better job in assessing that situation. But what happens is we are taking some blanket advice without trying to implement it based on our situation, and we blindly follow something. That's when we get hurt, and that's when we lose money. You need to understand, if somebody says something, yes, take that and see how you can implement it in your life, and that's the time it gets effective. Not because somebody said buy this, sell this, or hold this for 1 year, hold this for 2 days, etc., etc. The intellectual thinking has to happen from your side. Ideas can come from everywhere. Truth is, all advice has to be assessed and implemented based on risk appetite, personal finance position, time horizon, and knowledge of investments. Many times we see in our workshops as well. People come, his salary is 40,000 rupees per month, and his savings till today is around 10 lakh rupees. His age is 35 years or 40 years. And he says, recently, somebody told me to invest in stock market. So I invested through the broker and I've lost 4 lakh rupees. For somebody who has a savings of 10 lakhs, if he loses 4 lakhs for whatever reason in stock market, that's a disaster in his life. But without understanding what is your risk appetite, without understanding what's your financial position, he has gone into invest only because of the greed and the blind faith in somebody. Having faith in life is important. That's a good trait to have. But if you have blind faith without any of your own thinking, then it can be dangerous in situations such as investment in stock markets. So always remember, some logic has to be involved. I do not learn about stock markets since my stockbroker will tell me what to buy and sell. I've already given you an idea of this in the previous point. Many people think that brokers know everything about stock markets, and hence, why should they personally learn? if you know the truth, you will be quite surprised. I don't know if you're aware of this. Brokers or staff working in stock brokerage companies are employees who have been trained in customer handling, marketing, and not particularly about stock market and investments, because their training has been given saying that how to deal with clients, how to help them open an account, how to take their orders for buy and sell, etc., without knowing the intricacies of the deep details of stock market. So don't assume. There may be people who know a lot of stock markets, brokers. There are not all brokers are not illiterates in terms of stock markets, but all brokers are surely not people who know everything about stock market. And if you just blindly take his advice, it is pretty dangerous, because it's not dangerous for him. It's dangerous for your money, because your money is at stake there. Now, point number 8, I do not need to learn about stock markets. I do not need to learn about stock markets, since my stockbroker will tell me what to do. The same point, brokers usually have targets from their managers for revenues to be made from commission. They have targets, just like insurance, just like other fields, they have targets. Hence, usually brokers suggest investors to buy and sell frequently, and also to invest in all sorts of companies at any cost, make the customer trade and get the commission, is what's the general motto of a broker, because that's how he makes money. There's nothing wrong with that. That's his business. But we need to understand that what is going to benefit me, I will do that, not because he's suggesting something for his benefit. It should be a win-win situation. He also has to benefit, I also have to benefit from it.